Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're unpacking a really fascinating piece of traditional wisdom, and it's going to completely change how you look at the calendar and honestly your own life. Have you ever wondered if the actual month you were born in dictates the kind of energy you carry around? What if I told you the universe literally conducts an annual performance review of your life? Like, it evaluates your choices, your growth, and how you treat the people around you. Well, today we are exploring the ancient Korean concept of Yeongdong-dal. It's this specific time of year that serves as a massive cosmic audit. It tests our character, it grades our connections, and it challenges us to figure out our true life's calling. We've synthesized some really incredible source material to break this all down for you, so get ready, because we're about to see how a centuries-old myth translates into some absolutely crucial modern advice. So our whole journey today kicks off with this really fascinating question from a student in our source text. They asked, I am someone born in Yeongdong-dal. Please give me valuable teachings. Basically, they wanted to know, hey, does being born during this specific time, the month of the wind god, come with some kind of unique destiny or a special calling? It's a great mystery, right? Like, what does it actually mean to carry the energy of the wind god? Well, to answer that, we've got to first figure out what Yeongdong-dal actually is, because as our sources reveal, it's definitely not just some old myth about the weather. No, it is all about accountability.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, Cosmic Inspector Arrival of the Audit.
All right, let's totally redefine what we think we know about this ancient tradition. We're stepping past the folklore and looking at the functional, philosophical reality here. Historically, lunar February was known as Yeongdong-dal, right? The month when the wind goddess arrives. But our source material completely reframes this, and the really interesting term they use here is amhangenggosa. So, back in historical Korea, an amhangenggosa was a secret royal inspector. Think of it like an undercover agent sent by the king to audit local officials and bust corruption. Well, the text explained that Yeongdong-daeshin is essentially the universe's version of that secret royal inspector. Nature, or the universe, is literally absorbing every single word you speak, every little action you take. Nothing slips by. And lunar February? That's the designated time when this cosmic inspector shows up to check your progress. The universe is basically asking, look, I gave you all these resources and opportunities. Are you actually using them righteously, or are you just squandering them?
Moving on to Section 2, Connection Capital. People are resources. So if we're being audited, we desperately need the grading rubric, right? Like, what exactly is this inspector looking for? The absolute crucial takeaway here is that the universe doesn't deal in direct cash transfers. Our sources make this brilliant point. If you need gold, heaven doesn't just, drop a bag of gold from the sky into your lap. No way. Instead, the universe gives you a person. It gives you a connection, an opportunity wrapped up in a human relationship. And your ability to manage those human connections, that is exactly what determines if you pass or fail this cosmic audit. If you treat people right with genuine respect and understanding, that connection naturally blooms into gold, silver, and abundance. But if your ego gets in the driver's seat, or you act selfishly and treat people wrong, boom, those opportunities vanish. The resources were literally right in front of you, but because you failed the human connection test, life suddenly gets incredibly hard.
Which brings us to Section 3, Time of Pause, Accumulating Energy. Now, knowing this massive audit goes down in lunar February, the obvious question is, how on earth do we prepare? Well, this introduces a vital concept called Dongonju, or the winter retreat, and it brilliantly shows us what to do by just looking at nature. Think about it. In places with distinct seasons, winter looks dead, right? Just totally still. But actually, scratch that. It's anything but dead. Trees pull all their water way down deep into their roots, completely hitting pause on their external growth. Bears go into this massive, deep hibernation. Snakes sleep. Externally, everything stops, but internally, the source explains there is this intense, hyper-focused activity going on. That tree is gathering strength, organizing its internal systems, so that when spring finally hits, it can fight off diseases, weather huge storms, and push out new leaves. If that tree skips the internal work during winter, it's going to snap or get sick the very next year. So let's map that onto our own lives. Just like those trees and bears, we are meant to use the winter months, this 100-day period of Dongonjyo, to prepare for the inspector. Our sources give us a really specific structure for this. For 90 days, you just hunker down, you pause all those external, ego-driven pursuits, and you focus inward. You study yourself, you pinpoint those bad habits from the past year. Have you been a bit too arrogant? Have you messed up some relationships? Well, you use these 90 days to practice humility and fix those flaws. After that, you spend 10 days wrapping things up and just really getting your mindset organized. Because right when that 100-day period ends, bam, lunar February 1st hits. The secret royal inspectors arrive. Now, if you actually did the internal work, you have absolutely nothing to sweat. You'll be rewarded with amazing energy and even better connections. But if you ignored the retreat and just lived recklessly, yeah, that is when the audit hits you hard. Let's look at Section 4, Heaven's Descendants, the True Joy. So why do we even do this? Why put ourselves through this rigorous internal study every year? What's the end goal of passing the audit? This is kind of the fundamental philosophical heart of this whole explainer. The texts argue that we are actually meant to grow into leaders whose whole purpose is to bring peace and benefit to humanity. True leaders, what the sources call Chensun, well, they can't possibly find joy if the people around them are struggling. Think about it. If the masses are crying, how on earth can a leader be happy? The ultimate purpose of isolating yourself in winter, of really rigorously auditing your own flaws, is so you can be of genuine service to others. When you help people elevate their lives and they genuinely rejoice, that is the only time a true leader experiences real, authentic joy. It's this beautiful shift from just chasing personal wealth to actually lifting up your whole community. And finally, Section 5, a special calling, Yeongdeung birthdays. All right, we are finally ready to answer our students' burning question from the beginning. What does it actually mean to be born right in the middle of the cosmic audit? Well, it turns out it's the ultimate double-edged sword. Being born in lunar February, exactly when those inspectors are roaming around, means you were born into a month of incredibly intense, dynamic energy. The universe literally gave you this birth month because you have a special calling to tackle massive, difficult tasks in your lifetime. You are naturally equipped with immense internal power. But, and this is a huge but, because your energy is so massive, the demand for you to study and refine yourself is equally massive. If you just rely on your raw, untamed energy and refuse to do the inner work, if you won't practice humility, you are going to constantly clash with the world. Your life is going to be incredibly difficult. But if you step up and do the work, you are capable of achieving absolutely monumental things.
And that brings us to the ultimate takeaway from today's explainer. And honestly, this applies to absolutely every single one of us, no matter what month you were born in. The cosmic audit isn't just some dusty myth. It's a living metaphor for cause and effect in our daily lives. The universe doesn't rain down money. It surrounds you with people, your family, your coworkers, your clients, your friends. These folks are the actual resources the universe has provided you. So the big question is, are you taking the time to do the inner work? Are you studying your own habits and practicing the humility it takes to treat these people right? Because remember, the inspector is always watching. And the people around you right now are the exact capital you need to build a truly beautiful life. I want you to really think about that as you go through your week. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. And hey, take a moment today to really evaluate your own connections.